Shahnameh, the epic of the Persian kings. Episode 2: The Reign of Hushang and the Discovery of Fire. In the name of the Creator, the wise and eternal, the one who set the heavens in motion and gave fire to mankind. The world had begun its journey through time. Keyumars, the first king, had ruled with wisdom and justice. He had brought order to chaos, clothed his people, and led them in harmony. But his reign had been marked by sorrow, the loss of his beloved son, Keyumars, to the monstrous spawn of Ahriman. In grief, he had seen his grandson, Hushang, rise to avenge his father, and in that battle, the young prince had proven himself worthy of the throne. Now, with the passing of Keyumars, the golden crown of the First Kingdom was placed upon the head of Hushang. The world entered a new era, one of discovery, progress, and the awakening of mankind's true potential. The rise of civilization. Hushang was not only a warrior, though he had faced the terrors of darkness and emerged victorious. He was a ruler with vision, a man who wished to guide his people toward prosperity. He saw that while his grandfather had laid the foundations of civilization, there was still much to be done. The people, though now clothed and gathered into settlements, still lived in a state of simplicity. They hunted for food, gathered fruits from the forests, and drank from the rivers as the beasts did. Hushang, with the wisdom bestowed upon him, sought to improve their lives. He was the first to teach mankind the art of agriculture. No longer would they wander in search of food. Instead, they would plant seeds, tend to their crops, and reap the rewards of their labor. With the turning of the seasons, the fields turned golden, and the people saw the bounty that patience and effort could yield. He also guided them in taming animals, not only for hunting and war, but for companionship and work. The mighty oxen were harnessed to plow the fields, the swift horses became their steeds, and the sheep provided wool for warmth. Under Hushang's rule, the scattered tribes grew into a great nation. The people built homes of stone and clay, no longer fearing the storms or the cold of winter. The mountains and rivers that had once seemed vast and unconquerable became part of their world, their land. But the greatest of Hushang's gifts to humanity was yet to be revealed: the discovery of fire. One day, as Hushang roamed the wilderness with his men, searching the mountains and forests for wisdom hidden in nature, his eyes caught sight of a dark and slithering figure, an enormous black serpent, its scales glistening like polished onyx. It was a beast unlike any other, a creature of Ahriman, lurking in the shadows of the rocks. The king, fearless and strong, lifted a great stone in his hands. With all his might, he hurled it at the serpent, aiming to crush the creature before it could strike. But fate had another plan. The stone missed its mark and struck against another rock with tremendous force. And then magic. Sparks leaped into the air, bright and golden, like stars torn from the heavens. They landed upon dry twigs and leaves, and suddenly, flames burst forth. The fire rose, alive and untamed, a fierce and dancing light in the heart of the wilderness. Hushang and his men stepped back, eyes wide with wonder. Never before had they seen such a thing, light that burned, that moved like a living creature, that devoured the wood and reached for the sky. But as the flames crackled and glowed, the young king felt no fear. Instead, he saw wisdom in its glow. "This is no ordinary light," he said to his companions. "This is a gift from the heavens, a power granted to us by the Creator. This fire is not our enemy, it is our servant. It can warm us in the bitter cold, cook our food, and drive away the beasts of the night. This is the greatest treasure we have ever known." The men, awed by his words, knelt before the flames, feeling the warmth on their skin, watching the embers rise and fade into the wind. That night, Hushang and his people gathered around the fire, tending to it with care, ensuring it did not die. They fed it wood and watched how it grew, learned how it could be carried and used. For the first time, humanity understood the power of fire, not as a force of destruction, but as a tool of creation. And so, the world changed forever. The first festival of fire. Hushang knew that such a discovery must never be forgotten. He declared a grand festival in honor of this sacred fire, a day of celebration where the people would light flames upon the mountains and in their homes, giving thanks for this divine gift. And thus, the tradition of fire worship began. The people honored the flames, keeping them alive, never allowing darkness to claim them. They sang songs of praise, danced beneath the glow of torches, and offered prayers to the heavens. This tradition would endure through the ages, passed from generation to generation. It would become the foundation of a faith, a belief in the purity of fire, the light of wisdom that would never be extinguished. Hushang had given his people fire, but more than that, he had given them progress. Under his rule, mankind took great steps forward. They no longer feared the wild, they had tamed it. They no longer wandered aimlessly, they had built homes. They no longer shivered in the cold, they had warmth. Yet even in this time of growth, the shadows of Ahriman had not been vanquished. Darkness always seeks to reclaim the world of light, and the struggle between good and evil had only just begun. The tale of Shahnameh would continue, for many kings would come and go, and each would leave their mark upon the world. But for now, the fire burned bright, and the people of Iran stood at the dawn of a new age.